We are live. This is Coach Arnie with Health, Love, and Life, and we are on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, radio, TV, and podcast #1 internet singles. And with our great host, Cece Schatz, she's behind the scenes here, making sure everything goes well. We're going to have a great show tonight. I have a good friend, somebody that I've known for about a year and a half or so and helped out through some stuff. And he's running a little bit late, so we're going to bring him on, and we're going to talk about his work in the world of technology, dealing with the stuff I don't understand, all the stuff that drives me crazy, web stuff and videography, editing, stuff that us small business owners need help with. I get pitched every day on this stuff. Everybody wants to do my stuff for me, but you know what? What we really need is, business. And it's like the chicken or the egg. What comes first, the fancy dancy a site or just a great idea and get out and talk to people? Well, the choice is yours. I've chosen to go the other way, which is just get out and talk to people. Meet people like I've done here with Cece and get on a great network like she has here. Do your own podcast as well, like Gary Vee would tell you to do, or just if you're good at writing stuff, write stuff. I haven't written. I'm going to start writing some more articles on Medium. So I like that, and or do articles on LinkedIn. Do your pictures, editing, videos, whatever you need to do. Just do it. I think a lot of us just overcomplicate everything by overanalyzing stuff. And today, no one cares. No one cares how fancy dancy your stuff is. They really don't. Okay. It might look good. You might spend thousands of dollars to get just the right video or the right picture, but so what? Aren't you going to be upset if 10 times more people look at someone's cheesy picture or video? Probably. And then you'll probably go, oh, I shouldn't do this because no one cares. Well, honestly, no one does care. So you got to care, and you got to bring value and help people. That's the way it is. I have to tell myself all the time, I have to bring value, and I'll hear it from people, and I never see a comment or a like, and they'll tell me, hey, I really like what you're doing. I really appreciate your positivity or whatever. And I'm thinking, geez, I've never seen a like or I've never seen a comment from them, but they're watching. So put it out there. Get stuff out there. So real quick, I'm on, follow me on all the platforms. I'm on Real Coach Arnie at TikTok and Twitter. Arnie Fonseca Jr. on on Facebook and LinkedIn. Coach Arnie F on Instagram. You can Google me, Arnie Fonseca Jr. There's my phone number. You can call me or text me. You can email me. I'm accessible. If you got questions or something's bugging you or you just want to talk, send me a message. I'm here. I wanted to share a quick story before we bring our guest on tonight. Something happened. I'm just checking a note here from my guest. Something happened today that was kind of interesting. Some of you may know, but I'm in the brain and memory field as well. That's, I guess you would call me a brain expert. And I got a text from a client's daughter that she had been found on the floor this morning. Oh boy, what's going on here? Because she had a fall a couple weeks ago. To me, she's fully recovered, but they found her on the floor. I'm going, okay, what's going on? I go, well, I'm on my way. I'm going to check it out for you. So I get over there. She's sitting in a chair around with some other caregivers and stuff, which is not normal for her. Normally, she's sitting by herself, kind of hunched over. But she was a ball of fire today. And she was talking about stuff I didn't really understand about breakfast because she doesn't even eat breakfast. And she was talking about some other stuff and her girls, her friends, all this stuff. I'm thinking, okay, what's going on here? And I said, let's get up. Let's go over to your room. I'm gonna ask you some questions. I'm gonna check out what's going on here. They were having a big meeting on the other side of this where her room is, and she goes, well, first I gotta say I got to check out. I got to make sure it's okay with my friends, my girls. They got to, blah, blah, blah. They've been doing all this stuff. I'm thinking, okay, what are you talking about? Because that's just not happening. And I am, forgive me. I've just got to, the link should go in. Live. We are live. So, we went to her room and I got to talking to her and still didn't understand what was going on. And then finally a young caregiver walked in who's a nursing student, and she literally told me everything that was going on, and it was all true. It's just that she was getting all this attention. It just lit her up like a Christmas tree. She was getting all this attention. And it's powerful. See, I've talked about it with my hopeful principle: optimal environment, encouraging, love, understanding. And hang on one second here. I am being really unprofessional here. So hang on. I've got to hopefully let my technology specialists figure this thing out. Making sure he's using Chrome here. This is where I am really flawed. I don't understand this stuff. So we're going to hope that this works. All right. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hopefully not lose total control of this show. So I'm going to send this information over to Cece, and hopefully Cece can walk this guy in. Let's go here. And hang on a second here, guys. I feel like I'm on a radio show and I'm having to look for some notes here without losing total control here. So, because I really want to talk to this guy. He's a good guy. I should have already had this sent over. So we're going to share this. And all right. And then we're going to get rolling. All right. And let's see here. I'm sure this is not going to be a great. We'll get going here. Okay. All right. Well, forgive me for that kind of catastrophe, but we're good. So the idea here is when we have an encouraging, loving environment, it can really do a lot to stimulate this right here. This lady, she's 90. She's 90, and she was on fire. And so I called up her daughter and let her know that everything was okay and what was going on. My only thing was I didn't want her to create a relationship with go on the floor to get attention. Because see, as human beings, whether you're 9 or 99, we're all looking for attention. All of us. I don't care who you are. Okay, I don't care how confident you are. We're all looking for attention. So that's what I observed today, and I just didn't want her to create a pattern of, being on the floor with getting amazing attention. And so her daughter was talking about how she was going to try to get some family members over there this week, and even if it's just for a few minutes, couple minutes, just encouragement, some love, and it would do a lot because we're all looking for that anyways. And especially with people that have memory or brain issues, it is powerful stuff. It is really powerful stuff, and it works. That's the key. It works. So so hopefully our guest will figure this thing out, because he's somewhere in cyberspace, I guess. He's floating around behind this video here, and we're going to try to figure out how to bring him on. So hopefully our good friend Cece will, in her expertise, will be able to bring on our guest. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that story with you guys today, and talk about how powerful our brain is, but at the same time how vulnerable it is as well, because a lot of individuals in life, when they don't get that encouragement, can go the other way. And that's where you run into, and things we've talked about before on the show here, about depression, insecurity, anxiety, and eventually suicide. I mean, thoughts of suicide, and all of that can be prevented just in what I just shared with you right there, about the fact that if you surround yourself with encouragement, with love, especially from other people, then it's powerful. I did a show once on it, as far as, think of yourself as a washing machine, and you have this big hole in the middle here, and in that hole, where you open the door to the washing machine, you can put things in there that move around. People, friends, colleagues, things move around in here. And so if we put things in there that move around, then life moves around on you. So, as a person of faith, I put God in there and myself. That's it. That's the only thing you can put in here, because if you put more than that in there, they move on you. They do things. They say things. They leave us. They die. And that can be devastating. That can be devastating to what we're trying, to our lives. And a lot of us don't. Okay, he's here. Beast. Look at that sharp looking haircut, dude.
Arnie, what's going on?
Man,
thank you very much. Got it fresh today.
That's a nice looking haircut, man. You are looking good.
Thank you, man. You too.
I figured,
hey, good at 60.
We're bringing on a tech guy, and he's back somewhere lost behind the scenes here in tech world, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, I was thinking the podcast would be over the phone, and I realized no, it's actually a video stream. So I had to rush to my computer.
You know more about it than I do.
Yeah.
So good thing you got your hair done today, man.
Hey, you're in a way better position because you're on TikTok. So
I know. I just did another video earlier. All right. Well, everybody, this is Santiago Leon, and he is the founder and the. Are you a solopreneur?
Correct. I'm a solopreneur. Correct.
And the solopreneur of Sleon Productions, right? Sleon.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and some pretty sharp stuff. Things that I don't understand as much, but things that I need in my own world as I'm trying to develop my following, my brand, my business. But this is the guy that comes into your event or your life and help you. He can help you reach bigger audiences. So Santiago, why don't you take a few minutes and tell everybody what you do, and then we're going to take a quick break after that, okay?
Absolutely.
As a pop, but go ahead and take a couple minutes and share with people what you do.
Yeah, well, I actually I own my own company, which is called Sleon Productions. It's Sleon Productions, and what we do is web development and app development, and also we just started doing video and audio for clients for social media marketing. But I started about almost 10 years ago. This company, but before that, I've always been involved with tech. My mom always tells everyone that one time no one knew how to turn on the computer, and I was the only one who knew, and I was like 6 years old. And I've always dabbled with computers. I think in middle school I coded in DOS, which was black and white lettering, and I would just code stuff here and there. And then in middle school, I actually in high school I had like a elective open to choose from, and I chose computer science. And I knew that was going to be the future. I've always had that vision, like, okay, go with the stuff that will succeed and it will be innovative. So I chose a computer programming course in high school. It was in ninth grade, first year freshman, and it was a little bit of trouble, but I got it. We used True Basic, a very down to earth, old type of coding, but it was the initial steps when I started to code. And then later in college, when I went to college, I always thought, well, it's either you become a lawyer or a doctor. Never occurred to me that a computer scientist or a developer could make as much money as a lawyer or a doctor. And I wish I read Steve Jobs' biography or his history, because, you could see his success back in the 80s. So I was a communication major in college, and I dabbled into a class where like the teacher was innovative. Like he would tell me, this is the latest and greatest. He was the one that told me about blogger.com. I mean, that was like the first, back then it was like the MySpace. And I got into it a little bit, and I started to code as well with blogger.com because Google open sourced it a little bit. And I was, dabbling with HTML and CSS and things like that. So I got into that. And then I graduated, went to graduate school, and then I bumped into WordPress. And that was two steps ahead of blogger.com. It was more open source, and you're able to code and create your own plugins, your own projects, add on to it. So it became, my brain started to circle more. So, oh crap, you can do more damage with the web. And now WordPress is actually 35% used in the internet right now. Most like 35% of websites are backed by WordPress, either by WordPress.org or WordPress.com. So I started doing that. I graduated in 2009. It was during the recession, and I couldn't find work. It was really difficult for a entry-level person to get in anywhere. So I started my own company. My parents, my grandparents were all entrepreneurs, so it was in my DNA. I knew how to connect with people, knew how to negotiate, and knew how to do business. So I started off in 2009, and it really took off really quick, and I started building websites for people. And then in 2013, I got into iOS development. So I created iPhone apps, apps for the iPhone, and that became another door opening for me. And then I created Insta Bible, which is a Bible app, which you can find in the Apple App Store, and that took off. So after that, I started doing apps for clients, and everything with coding. And then, of course, a little bit later on, I started doing the whole Gary Vee thing, doing video and audio to market myself, and I also did it for clients as well. So I would just, shoot video, edit, and add captions to it and just market. I'm pretty much in like the very same line as Arnie, but Arnie's a little bit ahead of me because he's doing TikTok daily. So I haven't gotten to that step yet. So that's pretty much my story.
But I can't be D-Rock. Well, let's take a sec. We're going to just pause for about 30 seconds here, Santiago. Then we'll come right back. So just hang on for a second. We're just going to pause. And then come back here. All right. So, but getting back to that whole TikTok thing, which is, to me, it's fun because I don't know how many I'm up to now, 100 and some crazy, goofy videos. And actually, I got to start taking my my tripod with me to one of my clients because I'm just going to start doing some goofy dances. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you,
I
it
am.
feels like
I'm ready, man.
Yeah, it feels like the best videos on TikTok are the dancing ones.
Yeah. I saw
And
today that you can do pictures, though. You can do collages now, right? 1 to 5.
yeah,
I saw that.
yeah, which resembles a lot with Snapchat. I'm not sure if you use Snapchat, but
No.
they're using a lot of like the AR type of thing,
Okay.
augmented reality, where you're able to at max, like you today, you did like the alien one.
The mask. Yeah, you can
So
do that. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so what I like about TikTok compared to Snapchat, I would say like it's a little bit closed. TikTok is a little bit more open, and you're able to discover new people via TikTok, and you're
What do you
using like the
mean? What do you mean
Snapchat
by
feature.
open? What do you mean by open, Santiago?
Well, you're able to discover people quicker.
Oh.
TikTok has this type of algorithm that says, "Hey, look at this guy. You should follow him." You know, cool video. Obviously, you do have the option to follow him or just move on to the next. So TikTok, like when you first open TikTok, they give you like the first couple of streams, they give you some recommendations to follow. Like they don't show you the people that you follow already,
Right.
but they show you some new people. And that's something that Snapchat never really did. And Instagram does have discovery, but TikTok goes right on your face. Hey, meet new friends. It's like going to a networking meeting and you're meeting new people.
Well, I saw some stuff today. Well, I've been seeing it more lately, and I was thinking about you and how this was right up your alley. If you've seen some of the videos on TikTok where these guys are doing these step-by-step things to do, I saw one today. I didn't like it, but I don't know if you saw it or not, where a guy was irritated by somebody that calls him on the phone and is kind of a jerk to him. And he said, "What you
I've
can
not
do
seen
is
that one.
you could take the number," and he showed you, and he was edited his video, something like you could do. And he said, "Take the number, put it here on this website, then get it on this and get it on that." And then he went through this like 5-step procedure, and then he signed them up for like 50 different companies that would send him emails. So basically,
Wow,
it's going to inundate the guy's number, with hundreds of random emails.
That's not good. That's one of the things. It becomes the pranking, becomes annoying.
Yeah.
But it's funny about TikTok because I've been hearing one other person told me that you can make money on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
If you have like a certain amount of viewership,
yes,
you get paid.
But did you see what Gary just did with the Charlie? I think her name is Charlie.
Yeah, she's like the most popular TikTok user right now.
10 million followers.
Easily. And it's funny because
just started in June.
I know. It's funny because if you saw the NBA All-Star Game weekend, she would appear like almost every segment, it feels like.
She was on one of his commercials, wasn't she?
Probably.
I thought she was, but I heard her interview with her mom, her sister, and her dad. Her dad's big too.
I haven't seen her dad, I imagine.
And it just started off, she thought it was a joke because she was 15 or 16, 15. And she thought it was kind of silly and a joke. And she's a dancer, though. And so she did a dance. And I think it was like, I forgot how many dances it took her, 2, 3, 4, 5, right in there. And then finally something hit and her sister went, "Oh my God." Yeah.
And what I've noticed so far, I think the best videos are the dancing ones.
Oh, yeah. I want to figure that out because I've done a couple goofy ones with this lady. But I think what I'm going to do, I've just got to throw the gauntlet down. You're going to love me for this, Santiago. I'm just going to set my tripod up and just go for it, man.
Do it. I mean, have you seen Mark Cuban's videos yet?
No. What's he doing?
He just dances with his son.
See?
I mean,
I know. There you go.
That's it. It's that simple. And also Shaquille O'Neal does it too with his son.
Dang. Okay. I'm in. That's
going
down
with your grandkid.
Going down this weekend because I'm going to visit my daughter in Albuquerque and the grandsons are going to be there. So I'm going to take both of them. My one grandson is on TikTok. They might be both, but I'm going to do a dance with both of them, man. Keep looking. It's going down.
I bet your viewership will go like 10 times.
Yeah. It's funny though. I talked to a guy last night. I was helping my wife put together some stuff for her project. schools and speaking. And this young guy, he sent me a friend request on TikTok. And I go, hey, look at this. Somebody just liked my video and wants to and following me. And he sent me a message. And I go, hey, what's up? And then I looked him up. I don't think he was 10. I don't even think he was 10. And my wife just looked at me and shook her head like, what are you doing? I go, well,
hey, but you're doing the right thing.
I don't know.
Because you're meeting some potential clients.
Yeah, you don't know, right?
What you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
What if this 10-year-old tells his 30-year-old dad that, hey, I met this cool dude, and his 30-year-old dad happens to be some multi-millionaire entrepreneur, right?
And might be an investor or might believe in
Arnie
and what he does.
And he looks at my he Googles me and he finds, hey, wow, this guy's a coach. This guy might be able to help me. I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. And then maybe he needs some videography work, right? Or some editing or some website work. I know this guy. I mean, we don't know.
Santiago Leon, SneonProductions.com.
I know, but this is how life works, right? And that's
how it is.
Hey, look, 10 years ago, I thought Facebook was a joke. I hired a guy to help me, and he taught me LinkedIn. We spent, I don't know how much money I spent with him. And he's still a friend, but we would sit down in a coffee shop, and he would teach me how to do LinkedIn. Nothing compared to what you do now with LinkedIn. No comparison.
Oh, no, nothing.
Not even
nothing.
And so,
I mean, yeah.
But he didn't, and he was in the business. He goes, yeah, we're not going to play around with Facebook because I don't really understand it. It's just mostly kids anyways. Sound familiar?
Yep. No,
if I would have spent that $1 on learning how to do Facebook in 2009 and 10, everything would be different today.
You could have been a millionaire by now.
We don't know, but we know this. It would have been different because you would have understood a platform that blew up in 2012, 13, and 14, right?
Yeah, and which is why you're taking advantage of TikTok right now.
Yeah, because we don't know.
It's early.
We don't know.
Now, I've heard that Instagram has TikTok features that they've added, but they've only made it live in Brazil. Do you think Instagram can take over what TikTok's doing?
Not with the algorithm. They're gonna have to do something with the algorithms because you know what, you and I have talked about it because I think it was about maybe 6 months ago, probably September, October, where Instagram changed their algorithm because all of a sudden I was getting 50 likes and I was down to 10. It's like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
Same post, same everything. They changed everything. And that's why in Australia they took away the likes, right?
Yeah, completely. And I think they did it here in America as well already.
I think. Are they? I don't go on there. I've been building my Twitter and TikTok and LinkedIn. So I've built up my LinkedIn. I started a year and a half ago. I was at 2,300 followers, and now I'm at 9,200.
That's pretty good. I'm at 7,000, so you're ahead of me. But
I worked hard at that Now I'm doing the same thing on Twitter, and I'm just going on there and I listen to other people too, and I'm learning a lot that, so I'm not the only one going through this, but I'm getting most of my traction through jumping in other people's feeds and commenting.
And to be honest, Arnie, like that's how you're supposed to do it. I remember Gary Vee used to say that back in like in the early 2010s. I did it back then. I totally phased out of that, and I'm like, hold on. And then once you told me that you were doing that, it's like I should be doing that. Why am I not engaging in the conversation?
But I do.
All I do was post.
And every once in a while, I look at two things. I post what I post on my page,
right,
which I try to keep very positive, stuff that has to do with the brain or positivity and things like that. And then I go to my two side. I go to mental stuff, anxiety groups, or people that what do you call them? Hashtags I search out, or I'll do some political stuff. I don't let any of the political stuff come into my normal feed because I don't retweet any of that. And I don't go, I have to constantly use the Gary Vee philosophy on that. I don't go negative in people's, Like I wouldn't go to, let's say I didn't get along with you at all. I'm not going to go into your feed and give you shit. Excuse my French. Because I tell myself it's not worth it, because I don't want to get caught in that trap, because I think that's a trap. You're right. It's an easy way to get likes. It's like like Gary would say, it's like on Instagram when you take your clothes off if you're a girl, right? Yeah. Or you show your abs if you're a guy.
Right.
It's a cheap way to get likes versus
that's the thing.
But I don't know how many people I've talked to, especially women, then I ask them what do they want to do on social media. They go, I want to influence young girls. I go, okay, this is what you need to do. And then the next thing you know, they're taking their clothes off again. I go, why are you do? Well, because they know they can get likes.
It's easy. I know that's the thing. I think women have the best when it comes to Instagram influencing. I think they would pretty easy. I try to stay away from following those accounts because I don't want, to have bad thoughts. So I try to stay away from those accounts as much as I can. I'd rather meet the girl in person. I think that's like the best way to build a relationship.
You've heard Gary say too, he goes, don't tell me that you're doing all this stuff on social media. He goes, give me your phone. Let me check what you're searching. Right?
Wow.
No, he said that because it's true. Because if you're DMing people that can potentially help you, fine. But if you're out there not DMing, half naked ladies, that's not what he's talking about doing. And you're wasting time. You're wasting time. And so to me, social media is it's here. It's not going anywhere. I did a thing with students last week. They were young. But the first thing I told them, I said, look, one of my strategies for anxiety and depression and insecurities is not to look at this thing here as a bad thing. I want to give you some strategies to make it a good thing. Like I love Gary's strategy about going in and just dropping love on people, encouraging them and uplifting them. You know what I'm saying? I love that. Because if you did that,
have you noticed that he's changed his tone a little bit? Like he's become a little bit more nicer.
Oh, totally nicer. But that's his whole thing now. Kindness, empathy, understanding. He's not ripping.
Yeah, like he's not saying anymore about go hustle hard.
No. He's saying be happy. He doesn't care if you make $50,000 or $250,000. Because what he's trying to prevent here is a lot of these young guys like you who are getting suicidal because they're trying to do things to impress other people instead of doing what you're doing in a slow, methodical way, meeting guys like me. Look, I know you. I trust you. I would refer you business. Get it?
Exactly.
Right. And because the first thing out of your mouth, actually, it was the other way around with the guy I was hanging around there for a while because he was pretty rough around the edges, if you know what I mean. But when I first met you, he was like hard pitching you, man, all over the place, right?
I mean,
but that was his gig, man.
Yeah.
But he introduced me to Gary.
How long ago was this?
Oh man, I didn't. 2 years.
That's it. Wow, that's recent.
Totally.
I knew Gary since 2008.
I knew Gary since 2009. I was in Michigan. I was at a conference, and a good friend of mine lives in Canada. He goes, Arnie, you got to read this book. I go, what book? He goes, it's called Crush It. I go, really? And so I ordered it that weekend, and I read it. I've got it here on my shelf. And I go, this guy's awesome. And then I heard him on a couple of, there were no podcasts back then, whatever he was interviewed on. And I go, man, this guy's really got it. But I was going through so much with my business back then, my rehab business. I needed him, but I didn't know how to use him. Get it? Yeah. And I was really in a pickle because I was getting ready to go bankrupt. And, And so I didn't know. I needed this guy like 3 years earlier. Get it?
Yeah.
And then I just once the dust settled, I started hustling again to rebuild. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. That's when I got into coaching because everybody kept telling me I need to be a coach. And so I started running around to all these coaching, with Robbins. I did stuff with those guys, Laurel Langmeyer, John Maxwell, I knew John from 2008 before I ever started all this stuff. A good friend of mine, Joe Pesci, and I just started meeting all these people, and I was still trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? You've been doing workshops and talks for all these years in your business and whatever, and I was just trying to figure stuff out. So I needed that Gary V mentality to use this new thing called social media. I had no clue. I had no clue until I went to the Grand Canyon 2 years ago, August. And the guy I went with came back. He goes, Arnie, you need to market this. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, we need to get you on Instagram and all this stuff. I go, I've got Instagram. I don't know what I'm doing with it. He goes, no, here's what you do. So I just started posting on Instagram. And that's how it kind of started. Because before that, it was just very, very random. On Facebook, random. I was trying to do stuff on Facebook years ago with little videos once a week. Woo, right?
Wow, that was a starting point.
That was a starting point, but I would put these videos up and I would get pretty good, response, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do anything with it. So that's why a guy like you, and I think I told you that I ran into a D-Rock type guy. I mean, you could market yourself as a D-Rock kind of guy, right?
Yeah, which is what I do already with a couple clients down here in Florida. I have this guy that one of my clients, which actually we've been friends since high school. And his name is Ben. And what he does is he does a lot of open permits and code violations. And I've been working with him for a year. And I get a camera, mic him up, and I record his presentations, his projects, and then I just cut them up in 1 minute videos. And I add a caption, add a title, add the phone number.
Yeah.
And his business has increased a lot. He tells me, thank you very much. And
I need you. I'm going to have to hire you at some point.
I know, but too bad you're in Arizona. I mean, you should move to Florida, But yeah, it's been really, really interesting because I was like really motivated to do this video part of my business because I think it was like the future. I've been seeing more people requesting, I need videos done. I need to record things, like record my presentations, my interviews, my projects. And with Ben, it's just been so good. Like he really likes it. And I also ripped the audio and put it into podcasts. It's the same Gary V model, but obviously I haven't got to the point.
All that stuff, man. You're D-Rock.
Yeah, pretty much D-Rock. But like the whole Gary thing with posting 8 pieces of content a day, I have not reached that level because it's challenging, Arnie.
What? Okay, hold on. I get that. I do because I have to work hard. Like a little while ago, I thought I had a call at an hour before this, and it got canceled. So I said, okay. So I did my podcast. I did a TikTok. I shared some tweets into LinkedIn. I shared a podcast on LinkedIn. So again, using Gary's strategy of just sharing all this information. Now he wants you to come up with 20 tweets a day. That's hard unless you're on a roll.
Yeah.
So I try to hit 10 and then I share those. Where I've been lack is in my Instagram, but I don't count my comments in other people's posts either. But that sometimes generates me a lot of awareness or a lot of attention.
That's the thing. That could count as a post.
I know. So I am out there but at the same time, so if you were to be D-Rock and go to somebody, Santiago, and say, look, this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to I'm going to create these videos and I'm going to help you post, let's say 30 times a day, all different and get them on all the platforms. You could do that.
Oh yeah, easily. Absolutely. I mean, that's what I do with a lot of my clients. Like I actually have this I use Zoho Social where I pre-schedule these posts ahead of time. So for example, for the month of March, I have a bunch of images that I post for this client of mine, Ben,
Mm.
every day pretty much.
Wow.
And I say, yeah, for like the 1st of March, this post, the 3rd of March, things like that.
Yeah, I used to do that in Facebook, so you can still do that, huh?
You could do that for a Facebook page. I don't think the personal side of things.
So the other stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, good way to automate it. Obviously, for Instagram, you could schedule a Instagram post, but you can't schedule a Instagram story or IGTV.
Yeah, that's
I believe IGTV is coming soon. I believe.
Yeah,
what I heard.
I've tried to do that, but yeah, it's I don't know. I'm learning.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
But one negative that I saw from Gary Vee recently was, I mean, his TikTok, it's like all edited, like pre-edited already. Like he hasn't done a TikTok where it's like live on the spot type of thing.
Yeah, he's done some of those, but his lately have been more edited with the. Do you know how to do all that stuff? We talked about this before with the cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can do that like that.
I can do all that. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, it takes a more of a sophisticated, not sophisticated, but a good editing software.
Yeah.
Like Premiere Pro or like Final X, using like Apple's editing software. Even iMovie is pretty good.
Yeah. Because he's not doing that. The only stuff he's doing his own tweets. He's doing his own texting.
Yeah.
He's got the text platform. I've looked into that. I just don't want to spend the money right now. I think it's about $50 a month.
Texting is expensive and also could be annoying too, because you're always receiving text. But if it provides business, why not?
I know, why not? And so, but I know he does that, and then he does his own Instagram post. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. What I saw, I think he like what he did last fall, which I'm not sure if he's still doing it. He would do his Instagram stories live, like he will do it.
Yeah, when he's
right
out
on the spot.
But he had D-Rock there with him, following him around with that video camera, man.
Yeah. So that's something for sure has helped out. But yeah, I mean, he's the pro at this. Like him and Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone. I mean, they know that's where it's at.
Do they have guys? I haven't followed those guys for a while. Does Ty and Grant have video guys following him around?
Grant does. Ty, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it because he does a lot of like selfie stories.
Yeah. And stage videos and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Santiago, listen to me, man. As usual, as soon as we get talking, we just keep talking, right?
That's why we're good. We're like we have this chemistry.
We're gonna work together, man. And one of these times, we're gonna make this thing work. I appreciate you coming on and sharing with the audience. Take the last minute here and tell people how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can get a hold of me on sleonproductions.com. It's my website, or you can follow me on Twitter at Sleon, SLEON, or Instagram, SLEON. But if you go to sleonproductions.com, all my links are there. I talk about a lot of tech stuff on my website. I provide my services, and and you're able to see my creations, my videos as well, and also on YouTube, youtube.com/Sleon, and I'll take and also on TikTok, Sleon as well. So you can follow me and we'll have a blast. I am not as good as Arnie, but I'm like 2 yards behind him.
No, but this guy, everybody, this guy is honest and he's hardworking and he gets it, and he's going to give you quality, and that's why I appreciate him coming on the show tonight and just sharing with us. And not only is he a pro, but I consider him a good friend. So everybody. I just want to say thank you, Santiago, for coming on tonight. I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Arnie, and may God bless you more.
You too, buddy. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.